Right now on WHAS11 News at noon, we have a WHAS11 weather impact alert day today as we'll be tracking a threat of strong to severe storms on the way later tonight. We'll have that timing coming up.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear making his rounds in battleground states for Vice President Kamala Harris. A weekend recap of his campaigning and why he was in Louisville this morning. And it's the news Jefferson County residents have waited to hear after a ransomware attack took down their county's clerk's offices. What you can expect to see in the coming days. Thanks so much for joining us here at noon. I'm Brooke Hash, joined by our chief meteorologist, Ben Pine, talking about that alert day. We pretty much have an extension throughout most of the week with things to be aware of in the weather front, Ben.
Yeah, pretty active weather week ahead here, Brooke, as we have not only the chance of some storms, but also we're going to add heat throughout the week, which could be excessive with heat index numbers up around 100 degrees. Not today, but starting tomorrow and into the middle part of the week. But for today, we do have some garden variety showers and thunderstorms through this afternoon. But it's this evening and late tonight that we need that extra heads up, and that's why we have that WHAS11 weather impact alert day for tonight. So as we look at it right now on Max AC radar and satellite, a couple of passing downpours out there, but nothing extreme or nothing severe out there. We do just have a couple sprinkles crossing parts of Metro Louisville right now. There are a few heavier pockets near Leavenworth, parts of southern Indiana, moving into Lawrence County. Be ready for some of this heavier rain heading towards Bedford and Mitchell there in Indiana over the next 15 minutes or so. And then a couple teeny tiny showers also passing through parts of our Kentucky communities as well. So Futurecast picking up on that activity that we have out there now, passing through over the next several hours. Decent amount of dry time though out there for this afternoon as we top out in the upper 80s and lower 90s. It's going to be kind of a steamy day out there before that chance of some strong to severe storms. Notice this is around 8 p.m. We start to see those storms fire up in southern Indiana. The main deal with this will be some damaging wind gusts, the potential for that, and also some very heavy rainfall, some lightning and thunder. And there you can see it kind of blossoming right over the top of us as we head towards around 10 p.m. in Metro Louisville. This complex of storms should be moving out of our area and weakening by around midnight, 1 a.m. and then things calm down during the overnight period. But again, we do have some more impact alert days on the way over the next couple of days, timing out some more storms and that high heat on the way coming up in our complete forecast.
All right, Ben, and as always, keep up to date with the timeline of tonight's storms and any changes in the forecast by downloading our WHAS 11 News app.
I recognize that every opportunity that we have in this country, every opportunity that our kids, that my kids have, is because of the service and the sacrifice of our veterans since the inception of this great nation.
That's Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear back in the Commonwealth speaking in downtown Louisville at the Veterans of Foreign Wars National Convention. Beshear is one of the many speakers who spoke to more than 10,000 members of the VFW, many of them along with their auxiliary delegates attending this week to represent the organization's total combined membership of more than 1.4 million. Their mission is to help guide the VFW as it lobbies Congress on important issues to the nation's veterans, service members, and their families. U.S. Senator Rand Paul also spoke about his dedication to veterans and standing up to Congress in terms of war.
Whilst we must be prepared to defend our country and our interests without hesitation, we cannot forget that war must always be a last resort.
Saturday kicked off the 125th year for the convention, which ends August 1st at the Kentucky International Convention Center.
So let me ask you, are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to knock the doors? Are you ready to make the phone calls? Are you ready to vote? Are you ready to beat Donald Trump? Are you ready to beat J.D. Vance? Are you ready to elect Kamala Harris, President of the United States of America?
And there is Governor Beshear hitting the campaign trail for Vice President Kamala Harris in the battleground state of Georgia yesterday. His speech reflected issues like women's rights and control of the House and Senate. Hours before that stop in Atlanta, Beshear was in Des Moines, Iowa, speaking to local Democrats.
If you don't know me, I'm the guy who beat Mitch McConnell's hand-picked candidate last November in Kentucky.
He is among several Democrats reportedly in consideration for the Harris ticket, and the pressure is on for the VP with that DNC planning to hold a virtual nomination vote by August 1st. Other VP hopefuls include Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Well, President Biden is calling for major reforms to the Supreme Court. It includes term limits, a code of conduct, and limits presidential immunity. This with just less than 100 days from the election. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington.
In a Washington Post op-ed this morning, President Biden proposing major changes to the Supreme Court and a constitutional amendment on presidential immunity. Biden says he wants to limit the broad presidential immunity established in the landmark ruling from the High Court earlier this month. Biden writing, "It would make clear that there is no immunity for crimes a former president committed while in office." He's also proposing term limits for the justices, where a president would appoint a justice every 2 years, and the justice would spend 18 years on the High Court. Biden writes, "It would reduce the chance that any single presidency radically alters the makeup of the court for generations to come." And Biden is calling for a Supreme Court code of conduct. He says the current ethics code is weak and self-enforced. Vice President Kamala Harris endorsing the proposal as she sees a boost in favorability.
We have a fight ahead of us.
New polling from ABC News and Ipsos shows Harris now has a favorability of 43%, up from 35% before Biden dropped out of the race. Former President Trump's favorability has dropped. The same poll shows he's now at 36%, down from 40% after the Republican National Convention and assassination attempt. Trump attacking Harris over the weekend.
A Kamala Harris presidency means 4 more years of extremism, weakness, failure, chaos, and probably World War III.
Biden will be talking about his proposals this afternoon in Austin, Texas at the LBJ Presidential Library, where he also will be marking the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
And we've been watching these races closely, especially with Governor Beshear's recent involvement. You can find our weekend coverage from Iowa and Atlanta right now online at WHAS11.com. This afternoon, a minor is charged with attempted murder after a fight resulted in a shooting at a southern Indiana lake. The Perry County Sheriff's Office said around 8 o'clock Saturday night, 2 groups of young people got into a dispute at Rainbow Lake in Derby, and then shots were fired. 2 people were injured. 1 had to be airlifted to U of L Hospital. Indiana State Police said they later found 2 cars involved in that shooting trying to leave the area and arrested 1 male juvenile due to his age, though police will not be releasing his name. Louisville Metro Police are asking for your help finding a weapon they believe was used in a murder. Police arrested 31-year-old Patrick Anderson Saturday in connection with the Friday night shooting in PRP. That's where officers found the body of a man shot inside a car near Greenwood Elementary School. Police think Anderson may have tossed that weapon used while leaving the scene. If you see the gun, do not touch it. You are urged to call 911 immediately. Anderson is at Metro Corrections on $500,000 bond. A man is in critical condition after a self-inflicted shooting outside Mall St. Matthews Saturday. LMPD said 2 officers were working off-duty as mall security at the time when they made a traffic stop around 7 p.m. in the mall parking lot. Assistant Chief Emily McKinley said as officers approached the car, the man shot himself. They performed life-saving measures until EMS arrived. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
Suicide and suicide attempts are extremely painful, and they affect individuals and families of all backgrounds. If you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts or ideas, we encourage you to seek help immediately by utilizing the 988 Suicide Crisis Hotline.
Again, that hotline McKinley just mentioned is available 24/7. LMPD said there were 2 other people in the car, but no other injuries. Body camera video is expected to be released to the public at a later time. Well, people across the country are mourning the death of an Illinois mother today who was shot and killed in her home by police earlier this month. Louisville community members gathered just last night for a vigil and a march in solidarity for Sonia Massey. Our Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Aspen Hester heard their calls to action and a warning the police body camera video can be disturbing to some.
We're standing hurting, we're standing in pain, we're standing tired.
A somber room, about 50 activists gathered in downtown Louisville in mourning.
And it happened again. It's heart-wrenching. It's actually tragic. It has to stop.
Can I hear you say trust Black women?
Sunday, cities across the nation organized in solidarity for Sonia Massey, the 36-year-old mother who was shot and killed by Illinois police earlier this month. Authorities say that night, the officers were at her home after Massey had called 911 to report a prowler.
Until people look at why the lives of black women are undervalued in America, we will continue to be here again and again and again.
After the vigil and prayers,
In Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
community members took to Jefferson Square Park for a march.
Came out here for one thing, and that was change, and that was justice.
Jefferson Square Park is the historic block where protests were held for Breonna Taylor in 2020.
But this is where we've been even 20 years before, when Adrian Reynolds and other folks were being murdered senselessly, whether in jail or by the police.
It's sad what happened to Sonia. It's sad, and it shouldn't have happened. And we tired of being out here. We tired of saying that.
Body-worn camera footage released last week shows the moment police shot Massey in her home near Springfield. A warning, this footage is graphic. Activists had a call to action.
Vote. Vote. And then we'll really see that it'll really make change. Don't think that your vote doesn't matter. All votes matter. That's why they say vote.
In downtown Louisville, Alexander Goldberg, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
And back to the night of Massey's death. Throughout that 6-minute encounter with police, she struggled to answer questions. Her family said she had recently been experiencing mental illness and needed help. The situation you just saw quickly escalated when one of the sheriff's deputies said Massey came at him with boiling water, resulting in those shots fired. He was later charged with first-degree murder and fired from the sheriff's department. Representative Morgan McGarvey of Louisville released a statement on that Thursday, saying in part Black Americans are disproportionately profiled, targeted, and killed by police. And Sonia Massey's death is another heartbreaking reminder that we need real justice and reform.